Hey guys, Ron here with Southern GA Adventures. I wanted to talk to you today about one of the deers that were killed this year. One of those was Big Boy, that I know y'all have heard me talk about him many times on some of my previous videos. One of the videos, me kind of, if you will, talking about him in the cooler, if you will, kind of bring you a little bit of background story on this deer prior to my wife got Big Boy. But this deer's been on everyone's cameras around here. You know, our relatives, folks that we know that hunts other property. So this deer's been around in this area. So today I'm gonna just give a little bit of background story on him at first. The picture that you just seen coming into the video, that was him during late July, August. He was actually over there on my mother-in-law's side, not even where we are. I'm gonna take you out in the to the stand, kind of give you step by step of what happened. Like I say, unfortunately, wasn't in the stand with her when she got him, but just a little bit of background on him, and then we'll get into the really what happened out in the field, and then I'm going to show you the horns and everything. That's kind of one of the reasons I've been waiting on this video, was because of that. Apparently there's a shortage on birch wood that the guy that did the Euro mount, he's been waiting on wood, and actually the dip that they use too, apparently there's back order on them because there's so many people doing that these days. So that was one of the reasons I haven't really gotten this story out yet. But I'm gonna do a little bit of background story. So like I said, all the folks around here have seen this deer. I'm going to drop a picture in here in just a second, let you see that. This picture was back in 2020. So around here, this deer in this picture is a shootable deer back then. I'm probably estimating that this deer is probably at least 4.5, maybe 5.5 years old. Like I say, I've seen this deer probably, I think, as far back as 2018. And the reason I say that is because I have pictures, unfortunately, I didn't know I was going to get into all this, and I had, camera shots and everything, but really didn't save them. Didn't really think about it at the time. But I do have this shot of him in 2020, but I remember, his brow tines. They're curved like that. So, like I say, this deer came. Everybody's seen him for quite some time, and everybody was trying to get a shot at him, and that area where my wife got this deer, there's been other big deer killed in that area. My mother-in-law years ago killed a real nice buck in that area. And like I said, there's been multiple deer killed in that area, but it's a really nice buck, and it's bigger than one of the ones I've ever killed. So very proud of her. She her first little story. Her first deer that she killed, I think I mentioned it on one of the videos. Her first deer was a little 3-pointer, and that she got that 2 years ago. So she goes from a 3-pointer to this deer. So that's I don't know what she's gonna expect next year when she goes out there, and she loves to say, "Oh, that's too small. That's too small." So, but that's good, because that way the deer, can grow and everything. But and like I said on another video, I told you that she was hunting. I think it was last year, the year before, and she was hunting. There was a 7-pointer, and she couldn't see it, and she had the binoculars. I know I told that story, but that's a big step up from what she shot to this and everything. But like I say, this deer's been around. Everybody's tried to get him. Everybody's seen him on camera. But she got him this year, and I'm gonna drop some more pictures in here so y'all can kind of see him. He was in velvet, and then I got him on my camera several times, where I hunt, where y'all have seen me hunting my stand and everything. And then I've also gonna drop in some pictures on the area when I show you the stand and everything, kind of the story of him coming out there when she got him, just kind of so y'all can feel like y'all were there as well. Like I say, I hate it that we didn't get to record it, but unfortunately that's the way it goes. But and I'm going to show you the horns and everything, and carry on from there. But stay tuned, and once we get all that wrapped up, we'll get back here and I'll show you the horns. I'll catch back up here with you shortly. All right, guys, I'm at my wife's stand. I wanted to show you what she's seen that day. I'm gonna climb up here in the stand real quick and let you look and just see the view and everything, and then I'm gonna kind of show down there where she actually shot the deer. She really couldn't see the deer until he kind of walked out on the path and everything, but I wanted to show you that real quick. But I'm gonna climb up in the stand and kind of show you her view of the stand. I know I've showed this on one of my videos before, but I'm gonna show that again for y'all that have not seen this stand before. But I'm gonna climb up there real quick and see what we can, or show you what she's seen, and then I'm gonna kind of walk you through step by step of where the deer walked out from up here. Like I say, she could not see the deer. She knew there was a deer up in there because of the does that were down here at the camera that I have set up down at the bottom of the hill. I'm gonna show you it too. That the deer kind of, my camera picked up step by step of him walking out. I've got a few of those pictures that I'm gonna include with all this so you can see it. And then when he gets out here in the roadway, you should be able to see, see that picture and kind of what she's seen. I think there's one more picture that my camera did not get when he stepped a little bit further and she shot. And then I'm going to show you where he ran and how far he made it to before he collapsed, if you will. But I'm going to climb up in the stand real quick, show you that view, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, we're in the stand. I want to show you real quick her view of everything in her stand that she can see when she's hunting. And then I'll kind of walk you step by step of what happened. I'm going to show you that view real quick, probably 360 degrees. And then I'll show you where she shot him at and everything. We'll go from there. But here's the view of her looking out of her stand. So that's the way we come in right there. Or I bring her to her stand, or if she walks a lot of times. She's a big girl, so she can take care of herself. This is the back of the stand. We normally have this. She normally sits with her back to there. Right over there where those pine trees, well, there's all pine trees, but you can see the smaller pine trees. There's actually, that's another piece of property. And then there's a road right there. So that road goes all the way down through there, comes up, comes all the way down, comes all the way down through here. And then she can, a lot of times they'll walk down this little path a little bit. It's not quite as, it's wide and it's much, but she can see a lot in here, especially when, late season. When early season, all these little trees right here, it's really thick in here, so they almost have to be up on you before you even know they're in here. And then, like I say, we got this little path right here. I'll come back to this one because this one is the important path. But right here, that's straight down toward the creek. That is about where he wound up when we finally found him, if you will. I actually had my daughter come in. She's my bloodhound, if you will. I'll get to that here in a minute, but she actually was at the house, and I had her drive our truck down here, and she brought it in here. Like I say, we can drive all the way up here with a vehicle, truck, whatever. Normally, we drive that thing right there. But I had her bring the truck, and she just brought it up here, and I kind of just pulled in, turned it around, and I just backed it straight down that hill right there. I basically drug him out to this path. He wasn't far off this path at all. So we got him loaded up. It actually took myself, I was on the truck, my daughter and my son to get him up on the truck. He was at least 200 pounds, maybe a little more. He was a big boy, so that's why we called him Big Boy. But yeah, we put him up on the truck, and then we took him up to the house, and you'll see a little bit of that video a little bit later in this video. But like I said, this right here is where she seen the does. They were right down there, that pine tree that's right in. You can see my wife's little blind. You can see a partial piece of the blind that you can't see by that pine tree. That pine tree has a camera on it. So there was actually 3 does, and I think I have a picture of that I'm going to include with this, that you can see the does. They were right there feeding on some corn. But like I said, she knew that something was up in there. She just couldn't see it because the does kept, they would feed and they would look back. They would feed
and they would look back. So she knew something was up in there. She just didn't know what it was, how big it was. At the time, she didn't know it was Big Boy. Because, like I say, we've had other deer, we've got other deer, roaming around in here, and different things. But at the time, she didn't know what deer it was. But like I said, they kept looking back up in there, and kind of, how does get when big bucks around or bucks around, they get a little crazy and everything. But like I said, he was back up in there, and I'll walk you step by step when we get down and get over there. But he walked out, and there's one picture that I have that he was right past that pine tree, kind of with all the, I don't know, stuff right there on the bottom of it. He walked out just a little past that and walked right there. And I'm in my stand, and I'm going to show you, my stand's like 500 yards that way. I'm over there near the creek, which y'all have seen some of my videos that I've hunted out of quite a bit. But like I say, I'm about 500 yards away from her from that, and I'm going to show that footage too of my reaction and everything. But I was over there. That's my wife. See if he responds to me. She's not sure if she got him or not. She said his back legs jumped up. She said he's freaking huge. I asked, did he go down? And she said, no, but his back legs jumped up. She could have shot under it, I don't know. She said he ran off. Alright, I will start packing all my stuff up because I don't know if I'm out there trying to look for this deer or not. So it's going to be dark here soon, so I don't want to lose all the light. She was in her stand right here, and he walked out, and she seen him, and she had enough time. He wasn't, real antsy and just trying to get away, get out of here or anything. He didn't have a clue that my wife was even up here. All he had his mind on was one of those does was most likely in heat. And I wished I could find the picture, but I have a picture of him 2 weeks prior to this, and he was actually up in there. I feel like it's the same does. It was right here. One of them was coming in heat, and this was like, I think the picture was time stamped at 4 o'clock in the morning. So he was up in there, and he came in the same place. So he's been over here for quite some time hanging out with this set of does. So he, like I said, he came out when she shot. He came out right there, and he was probably, I think the picture that I have, he was just a little past that tree. I think he took one more step, but I think he went down the hill just a little bit. Because when my wife shot, she said he jumped, and she either shot under, but or shot him, and he just kicked and drug his feet, but there was no blood where she shot or anything. Like I said, I called out I got the bloodhound down here, and she found one. I don't know how she found it. I mean, it was dark. I have another picture that I'm going to include that you can see me and my wife standing down here, and you can see it's almost dark. getting really close to it after she had shot. But my daughter found one speck of blood, and I'll show you where she found it at. It was about the size of a ballpoint pen. I don't know how she spotted it, but she did. And basically, and I'll show you the path that he took when we get down there, but I'm gonna get down and show you that little path that he walked out, and kind of the track that he took off when she shot, and kind of show you where he wound up, and show you some footage when we did get him up to the house and everything. Like I say, he was a good one, but I'll follow up on a few things once I close out everything too. But I'm gonna get down, and I'll kind of walk you through that step by step of what happened to him. I'll catch back up here with you in just a second.